it. Weight charts up, we love it. Backpack, we done it. GM, good morning, we run it. Sunrise hits like a highlight reel. Coffee poured, yeah, this grind feel real. Wallet looking healthy like a post-gym meal. Crypto fam locked in, no off-day deals. Throwing shade, now we throw confetti. Market bounce back, hands strong, we steady. Dreams too big, so the doubts feel petty. Bull mode hitting, hope you're ready. We ain't stressing, we pressing, blessing the session. Turn every rejection to fuel for progression. Charts look clean, yeah, the vibe is a weapon. We build every day, this is compounding lessons. GM, we rise, we go. Good morning, crypto, steal the show. GM, get hype, let's grow. Another day up, yeah, we glow. Hands to the sky like let's get paid. Chase big goals, not just upgrades. GM bowl energy all day. Smile up, we're built this way. No fear, just flips and vibes. Turning old dreams into real life strides. Hard days hit, we don't divide. Team eats together when the market rise. Tap in early, that sunrise hustle. Bear tried to break us, couldn't touch muscle. Stack small wins, that's compound muscle. Every new block, another flex, no struggle. Climb fast, no breaks, no doubt. Big cheers when the green breaks out. Crypto fam in the chat, full shout. We don't clock in, we break out. Oh! 3 a.m. we rise, we go. Good morning, crypto, steal the show. GM, get hype, let's grow. Every candle's just fuel, let's blow. We don't watch life, we make waves. Another sunrise, another brave day. GM fam, let's go be great. Good morning, crypto. Press play. Wake up, smile, send it.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge and financial freedom. Looks like YouTube is having a little bit of some problems right now. It is buffering on my end, so we'll see if it gets together. I don't know why every once in a while just does its own little thing. So hopefully that picks back up here soon. There we go. Looks like it's starting to work now. But I don't have any news articles for that, some charts this morning. So if you have any stock requests, if you have any alt requests, go ahead, throw those in here bright and early, and we will get to those in just a little bit. We are going to take a look at some gold, some silver, going to take another look at the Dixie. It has been continuing to do a little bit well. So those three are on the list. If you got anything else you want to add to that list this morning, go ahead, throw that in there now. But before we get to all of that charting, you know what we've got pulled up in the background. It's that stock heat map. We are seeing some movements this morning, so let's get that pulled on up. We've got Apple sitting down 0.51% this morning. Did we do ASTS yesterday? Yes, we did take a look at it. We can take another look at it today, though, if that's what you would like, Steve Hickey. ASTS, I got that one on the list. We are seeing Apple down 0.5%. We've got Nvidia up 0.33. We got Berkshire Hathaway sitting down 0.29% right now. Amazon sitting towards the upside at 0.35%. We got Eli Lilly down 0.12. ExxonMobil up 0.13. We've got Tesla sitting down 0.35. PNG sitting up 0.07. Microsoft sitting down 0.29. Google sitting up 0.61. And Meta sitting down 0.43. So very, very mixed bag in the pre-market this morning. Hopping on over to the crypto side of things, pretty much just a sea of red over here. We've got Bitcoin down 1.6%, starting to see a little bit of green on the hourly there. Ethereum sitting down 2.7, XRP down 6.3. We've got BNB sitting down 2.6, Solana down 1.7. We've got Tron up 0.5%. We've got Dogecoin down 3.5, Cardano down 4.9. We've got Bitcoin Cash sitting down 0.2%. We've got Chainlink down 2.8. Leo token finally sitting in the green while everything else is red. It was a little bit different the other day when everything was red. It was sitting in the red too. So we've got Stellar Lumens taking a few spots in the market cap here, sitting from number 17 to number 15. Sui up in the market cap as well, lost those positions or gained those positions from Hyperliquid and Litecoin. Stellar Lumen sitting down 3.2, Sui down 6.3. We've got Hyperliquid down 4.4 and Litecoin sitting down 2% right now. Those fear and greed meters making their way back down to that fearful side. Stock market was sitting neutral at the beginning of the week. We're now back down into some fear. We've got the crypto markets down 14 points and in some fear. I was a little surprised to see us in that neutral range with that little bit of a move towards the upside of our sideways range. And this seems like an overcorrection to back to normal. I do feel like we should have been in that light fear with that big move towards the upside till we really reclaim some key levels, which we might be in it trying to do this morning. So we will get to that in just a second. We do have a little bit of liquidity to kind of keep our eyes on this morning. A little bit directly towards the downside. It is an area we were looking for some support. We do have 89,500 to about 89,200 to kind of keep our eyes on that downside. Could definitely see a little more downside movements here before we try to grab this top side liquidity. This ranges from about 92,500 all the way down to about 91,800. So keep your eyes on that top side range here. Could definitely come grab that after a nice little double bottom here. We do have the 3-day with quite a bit of liquidity directly towards the downside here as well. We do have a few spots directly towards the upside that are starting to heat up here. We'll kind of have to see if we continue to range a little bit sideways here this morning and then try to grab up at this very top side, $95,000 there. We'll zoom this on out, take a look at that 2-week here, because we talked about this the other day. We've still got a bit of, well, I guess we're not going to talk about the 2-week. It says no data here. We can give it a little refresh, see if it actually does it. Let's see. 24-hour. Let's see if the 2-week will load this time. There we go. Because we did talk about some liquidity that was way down here in our range of $86,000. We'll kind of have to see if we can find some support in our local area, because that is that next real area towards the downside to keep your eye on. We are trying to see a little bit of bouncing this morning. We will see if we can get some continuation on that 3-month here. like we talked about the other day, has a little bit of liquidity directly towards the upside here. And then we have to look at the extremes. We've got a little bit of liquidity directly in that mid 70,000 range. And we've got a little bit of liquidity at that 109 to about 110 range. So those are the two areas to really keep your eye on. And we'll kind of have to see what breakout we get. Do we get a breakout towards the downside, or do we get that last sweep of liquidity towards the upside and then really solidify our bear market here? Let's hop on in and say good morning to the people in the chat. I did see a few other alt requests and stock requests, so we'll get those on the list here in a second. We've got CCM first in the chat this morning. He must be up extra early because normally we don't see him in here. So glad you're here, CCM. I dropped his YouTube in the chat. Go ahead and check him out. We've got Rug Pulling Rabbit in the house. Good morning to you. We've got Curtis Hill in here. Good morning to you. Let's see who else we got. We got Steve Hickey. Good morning. Oh, it looks like the YouTube's messing up again. What is up with this? YouTube, yep, it's all YouTube. So bear with me, folks. It's all YouTube's fault this morning. So hopefully it gets its poop in a group. We've got Kevin Hawthorne in the house. Good morning. We've got Ella Cass in here. ASTS on the list. Let's see. We've got XLM. We can take a look at that one. Let's see. SLI, we can take a look at that as well. Assuming that's going to be a stock. So we will get that on the stock side, unless you correct me and it's actually a crypto. We got XLM. Put that one on the list as well. Yeah. Glitching is back on YouTube, says CCM. It most definitely is. Because the YouTube encoder is telling me that there's all sorts of problems going on, and the X stream is absolutely fine. So we will see if this makes it all the way through, and if not, it's supposed to rain here, so maybe I'll do a live stream on my channel this afternoon. Let's see, any other alt requests or stock requests? Not seeing any. We got XLM on the list, SLI, and ASTS. Go ahead and throw anything else you want to see taking a look at this morning in that chat, and we'll get it added. Let's dive into this Bitcoin chart though. So we did talk about some areas to kind of keep your eye on towards the downside. We were looking for that stronger move down to kind of cool off that 4-hour chart. That's pretty much exactly what we got. SLI, Standard Lithium. Okay. We got that one on the stock list. I figured that was a stock. So looks like we got that one right. We were calling out an area to kind of keep your eye on here for that cool off on the 4-hour. We did get a little bit of a move below that midline of that old fair value gap that we were taking a look at. Kind of looking like we could continue towards the downside just a little bit more here. We did see quite a bit of buying pressure stepping on in once we got to these very equal candle bodies back here, but we're still remaining below that midline of the fair value gap. We're starting to see just a little bit of some cool off here on the 4-hour. Your money flows maintaining in the green for now. We have lost a little more of our volume here, and it does remain as some sell volume, so we'll have to see if on the shorter term time frame we can get some buying pressure stepping on in. This 4-hour is extremely close to bottom, but we haven't got any reversal signals yet, so kind of keeping our eyes on this nice strong support here at 89,550. That is that area to potentially see another strong bounce at as we continue to remain below this midline. We are looking for that nice support. We have remained below our VWAP here, and as you can see here on a 1-hour, we've got that pickup of our volume as some selling pressure. So kind of keep your eyes on this. We could get that next little curvature down towards the downside on our money flow here on the 1 hour. That really gives us a solidified bottom here. We did see 3 reversal signals that have flashed. Normally you see several of those flash in a row before you really get that bottom there. So kind of keep your eyes on some of this money flow. We do want to start to see that shift. We will need to get above our VWAP again to really start to see some bullishness, as that has remained some resistance since about yesterday. So kind of keep your eyes on that area there as we continue to see our sell volume increase here on the 1 hour. We do have a lot of sell pressure that has been building up, but we want to see if we can get that switch down here at our bottom. That was 86,500. As you can see, we got that push back up towards our midline of our fair value gap, starting to get a little bit of a rejection this morning. Your prime oscillators trying to heat up here. We did see several bottoming indicators this morning, and we're trying to get that switch of trend. For now, you do have all of this sell volume to kind of keep your eye on. We did get a little bit of a visit into some buying pressure, but it wasn't able to absorb anything too well. We did see that nice little rejection off of our VWAP and then push back down. We do have a higher low here. This is that next real area to kind of keep your eye on. I am looking for that continuation of a squeeze this morning, seeing a little bit of consolidation. Let's get that sessions pulled up so you can see it a little bit better here. As you can see, London session is consolidating just a little bit. I would like to see that nice little move back down towards our downside, really confirm on about that 1 hour that this is our support area, because we just got some wicking on the 4 hour. We just got wicking here on the 15-minute as well, with this rejection on the midline. Continuing with those lower highs, I would like to see that solid bottom down here at 89,550 to see that stronger bounce to try to reclaim that VWAP. If we can get above the VWAP, there's several areas towards the upside to really keep your eye on. That first one's coming in about that $92,000 mark. That's where you saw a little bit of liquidity on that heat map, and then we'll kind of have to see if we can make our way back up towards these highs here, because like we were talking about, there's also some liquidity above our highs back here, sitting at about $95,000. So keep your eyes on that top side of the fair value gap first. We will see if we can start to catch some momentum, get some bleeding over into that 1 hour, and really start to reclaim some key levels, clear out some more local liquidity. We do have a little bit towards the downside as well, so you might see a little bit of a deviation below that strong support. Clear out some of that bottom side first before you try to take that top side there. So few little bounce levels towards the downside. We are in a downtrend, so don't fade it just yet. Don't jump in too early. We had ETH on the list. We can take a look at that one as well. We got JR in the house this morning. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day so far. Hopefully we can get that redirect all over to him after the show. So it didn't work yesterday. For some reason, YouTube couldn't find a JR stream, even though I could see on my YouTube that he was live. So YouTube's doing YouTube stuff all over again. Gotta love it. All right, we did have a few things we wanted to look at before we got into all of those alt requests and stock requests. And you know, it's our favorites. We were talking about a few areas for silver to really keep your eye on. And the first one was going to be $77.52. We didn't end up holding that area as some support after our rejection off of that 2618 here. Let's get that demonstration tool pulled up. We got that rejection off of the 2618. We were looking for 77.52 to really be our support area. You could see how weak it was. We tried to pull back above it and hold it as some support before we came back to $75. That was that secondary area. We were looking for some bouncing on silver. Looks like for now we are holding that as some support. It has been support on the higher term time frame, and we are looking like we could use a little more cool off this morning. But here on your higher term time frames, things are looking very, very close to bottom. So if we can get some sideways momentum in that shorter term time frame, you could start to see some bouncing action here. So nice green money flow here on a 4 hour. We have maintained that pretty much throughout this entire move towards the upside. We do see a little bit of some sell volume coming on in, but it has been lessening here. So we are looking for that absorption here around that 75 to try to get that move back up above 77.52. See if we can try to take that stab at all-time highs on silver again. We did have a little bit of a lower high here, but we still maintain all of our higher lows. So kind of keep your eyes on this. Nice little consolidation area is going to be between our 2618 and our strong support. A little bit of a squeeze that we could potentially see, and then our next upside target above all-time highs comes in about that $90 range. So kind of keep your eyes on this. We have been seeing that 2618 continue to be a little bit of a resistance here on that 4 hour. It is some very strong resistance. As you can see, it's just a wicking action above that. We will have to try to break that eventually to see that move towards $90. Let's get this zoomed back in. Take a look at this hourly here. Hourly starting to look nice and bottomed as well. We are waiting for some money flow here. So a little bit of some selling pressure and some sell volume. Starting to see some few bottoming indicators. I would look for that next little strong bounce off of our support to try to get that break above 77.52 there. So things looking extremely close to bottom, but I would like to see, like I said, that sideways momentum on top of $75 and our support line here on the shorter term time frame to get that next little bit of cool off here. You can see that sell volume and that sell pressure has really increased here. Put some background music. We've got some background music that we don't use very often. I mainly use it on my other show, but we've got some music with no words. So hold on a second. It's gonna be too loud. Let me know. We got Chef Money in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Is that music too loud for you, or is that right at the right volume there? So we are seeing that sell pressure kind of increase around this area. I would look for that to just be some sideways momentum as some of this volume is starting to increase here. We did get a brief little visit into some green volume, so starting to potentially see that absorption happen. A little more sideways momentum will cool that 15-minute off for a stronger bounce towards the upside there. We did want to take a look at gold as well. Starting to see that movement back towards the upside. Let's get this one zoomed on out because we were calling out some levels. Taking a look at the 4 hour here. We've got that nice little lower high here. We do have an area that we were talking about looking for some support on a higher term time frame. That is going to be that 4 hour area that we want to see turned into some support. $4,382. For now, it does look like we're seeing a little bit of a downtrend on the shorter term time frame. We do have a little more bottoming that we could potentially see here as well. As you can see, that prime oscillator is nowhere close to our bottom. We're seeing some red money flow and some red volume as well. So kind of keep your eyes on that lower level there, 4,382. See if we can get that bounce there. This does need a little more cool off. Let's get this zoomed on into that 1 hour. This is where you can really see that downside trend on the shorter term time frame. Rug pull and rabbit music makes me feel like I took a gummy. Hey, well, this one's a little more light. I do have some that have a little more bass in there, so it's just on the no words playlist that I made, and I'm not sure which one it'll play next, so this won't all feel like that, but hopefully you enjoy it. There we got a little fish in the house this morning. Good morning to you. Let's get this zoomed on in, out a little bit. As you can see, we do have a few areas to kind of keep your eye on. We are putting in some lower highs here. We are putting in lower lows as well. Nice little bit of a flag here. If we could potentially get that nice little strong bounce on the higher term time frame at 4,382, nice potential for some break towards some all-time highs. That is what we were kind of looking for on the higher term time frame. We will need to get above our local resistance. That's about 4,500 to try to make that way towards all-time highs, and our next upside target of about $4,700. That is that next 1618 on our fib extension levels. So we're sitting extremely close to some all-time highs for now, but we will need to see just a little more cool off to really start to see that deviate towards the upside here. Let's get this zoomed on in. Take a look at that 15-minute and see what the morning might be bringing our way, because we have been getting a little bit of sideways momentum here, trying to get some cool off on the short, on that higher term time frame, but not really seeing it do too much cool off on the 15-minute. Let's get this zoomed on in so you can see that MACD and prime oscillator just a little bit better here. As you can see, we're remaining below our wrong button there. We're remaining below our zero line, starting to get a little bit of curvature, and a big problem is our money flow is really hitting that sell pressure. We do have a lot of sell volume as well, and it has been increasing, so kind of keep your eyes on that. If we start breaking some of the lows here, that's about 4,420. Nice number. We could really see some movements towards the downside with some strength there. So keep your eyes on some of that downside. We could use just a little more cool off. Your pre-market is very in the red this morning, so I would look for some of that to continue before we really get that strong bounce towards the downside. We did want to take a look at the Dixie as well. We were calling out an area towards the upside to potentially look at for a stronger rejection. We have maintained a little bit of this uptrend here. Let's get this zoomed on out. Take a look at that 4 hour, because as you can see, that 4 hour really got to move back towards 4 hour resistance, and we're really looking for a rejection. As you can see, we're starting to get that sideways momentum coming on in on that prime oscillator. Your volume is in the green, but you're really seeing that rejection all over again at that 98.80 point that we were calling out the other day. So 1 hour looking extremely toppy as well. Switch from green to red on that prime oscillator, really bumping up against that resistance, and it does look like this uptrend might be starting a little bit of a switch on the shorter term time frame. 15-minute got that nice secondary push up towards 98.80, and starting to see that switch from green to red on that prime oscillator here as well, and you've lost a lot of your momentum on that MACD. So kind of keep your eyes on this. We will kind of have to see if we hold 98.68. If we don't hold that area, really looking for those stronger moves towards the downside. 98.5 is going to be that next area to potentially look for some support at. If we can't hold any of that, looking to start sweeping some of our lows from before. So if we can get those moves towards the downside, might be a little bit positive for some of your assets there. So keep your eye on this. We are at a resistance area on the dollar. We had ASTS requested on that list, so let's get on over to that stock. We got SLI requested as well. If you want anything else taking a look at this morning, go ahead and throw it on up, and we will get to that in just a little bit. We've got about 30 minutes to take a look at some assets, and we've only got 4 requested, so go ahead and throw some more of those in the chat, and we will get to those in a little bit. We got Loco for Crypto, aka Donato Cabrera, in the house this morning. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's take a look at this ASTS before I get into some more talking. Now I will take a quick drink of my energy drink. All right. We were calling out a level to kind of potentially look for some bouncing at on the shorter term time frame. That pre-market yesterday got that move towards our 50% line on our fib extensions here. We have been maintaining this uptrend quite nicely. We do have that potential to see a little more downside action here. Pre-market opening up pretty much exactly where we closed yesterday. As you can see, nice little close at 85.73. Pre-market's only opening up about 20 cents above that. 4 hour is still looking for some cool off here. So the few ways we could get some cool off in this range is the move that we did right here with a little bit of sideways momentum underneath the 382, or what we did here with that nice deviation below our support to sweep out any liquidity and the push towards the upside. So the few things we could watch for here is some sideways momentum on top of our 50% line, or that deviation below towards our CME gap to try to get that stronger push towards that platinum pocket. Both of those will cool off these higher term time frame oscillators, but as you're starting to lose some money flow here, could definitely see that deviation below the 50% line to get that stronger cool off, and then wait for that switch of some money flow. 1 hour did see a little bit of some bottoming here. It did get that switch of red money flow to some green money flow, but we're not seeing those bottoming indicators on that prime oscillator just yet. So kind of keep your eyes on that. We did get a little bit of an increase of volume, and it already started waning yesterday. So 15-minute and the morning continuing with that downtrend. We did already try to close out that CME gap up there. We'll kind of have to see if we make our way back down there after a little more cool off, because that money flow is still sitting in the red here. You've got a lot of sell volume as well. You did get that first reversal signal, got that move towards the upside on that prime oscillator, but your price did not really get that movement towards the upside here. So really seeing some disparities between that prime oscillator and actual price action. We will kind of have to see if we get that sideways momentum here before we try to get that pushback up towards our golden pocket, or if we're going to get to sweep and then the pushback up towards the golden pocket there. So those are the two moves I'd kind of watch for. One of those is going to cool off quicker, and that's going to be our deviation below to try to sweep out any liquidity on those futures markets. Let's see, we had SLI on the list. It looks like a lithium company according to CCM. So let's get our stocks pulled on up here. SLI, JR, I manifested earlier and he showed on up. Yep. Apparently it's there's a few people like that. You know, you say their name is in the chat enough and they just show up. And Al Jr. is the other one. You say Al Jr.'s name enough and he just randomly shows up and just bombs the chat with some all caps. So let's see if he shows up now since I said it. Gunna? Is that an actual project there, JR? Or are you just messing about? Let's see. Let's get this one zoomed on out to the higher term time frame. See what's going on there. Nice bottoming indicators. We are bumping up against some resistance here. We'll kind of have to see on a fib level what is going on, because we got our high to our lows here. Let's pull from our low to our high, breaking above the 236. So let's pull from our higher range. Let's get this pulled on up on a daily time frame, see what's going on with the bigger range. We are reclaiming some of these levels back here. We'll kind of have to see what is going on. Pre-market really opening up exactly where it closed yesterday. So let's get the bigger range from our highs to our lows. Nice solid lows at that $1.03 price point. A lot of sell pressure at that 382. We will kind of have to see if we can get above that 382 and then back to the 50% there. So keep your eyes on some of that. Let's make this a little bit thicker. It's only on 2. Hopefully you can see that just a little bit better there. So 382 coming in as our resistance area. We'll kind of have to see if we can get that break above it. Pre-market is opening up pretty much exactly where we closed. We got a lot of sell pressure above the 382, and we're starting to look very bottoms here, even though things are looking a little bit high on that MACD and our prime oscillator. We're starting to see a change here on the daily. You've got that money flow breaking back into the green, volume starting to pick back up as some buy pressure as well. Let's get this zoomed on in, take a look at that 4 hour, because that 4 hours also telling that same story here. I don't know why it's showing the money flow as red, but this is all buying pressure here. You've got that nice slowdown on your sell pressure on the volume, and you're starting to see it pick back up. So we'll kind of have to see if we get that rejection off of the 382 on the short-term time frame, get a little bit of cool off, and then break towards the upside with some strength, because you're starting to see that prime oscillator switch from a red to green here. So kind of keep your eyes on some of that. We do have that very localized resistance at the 382 that's coming in $5.57. So kind of keep your eyes on some rejections in that area as you're looking just a little bit toppy here on the hourly. But the big thing to keep your eye on is that money flow and your volume, because they're both in the green. So short-term time frame rejections, and then see if you can get continuation, because things are looking nice and cooled off on that 15-minute. As you're seeing that little bit of sideways momentum, and we're waiting for that pick back up of our money flow and that slowdown on our sell pressure. So keep your eyes on that. A lot of resistance directly towards the upside. If we do reject off of that 382 all over again, trying to see if we can keep this upwards trend here on the shorter term time frame. We've got a little bit of support down there, so keep your eyes. This is a crucial area to try to see that break. Could use that stronger cool off though, and then really see this be a consolidation range for accumulation to try to make our way back towards that 50% line that we saw as a resistance area before. Let's get that moved to the 1 hour. Take a look at our history here. As you can see, we got that consolidation range back here where we saw the 382 236 holding as some support, got that deviation above towards the 50, and then really saw that 382 come back as some resistance there. So if we can get above that, above our 382 here, really hold it as some support, we've got some nice solid movements we can make towards that $7 range and about $8.32. So those are those two areas I'd really watch for. You are seeing a lot of movements into some battery technology. So lithium is going to start getting some moves here. I know we just saw BlackRock dumping millions of dollars into battery technology. So that might be the next real area to keep your eye on. Let's see. I went to AC/DC twice in December. Let's see, AC/DC, very entertaining show. That's one I have not seen live. So let's see. Gun. Are you asking for real projects, JR, or are you just being goofy in the chat here? Let's see. We got XLM and Ethereum on our list as well. If we don't get any other alt requests, we might just wind the show on down early, and then JR can start early and go over all of his degen projects. So let's see. I'll definitely do it on a live one day. Oh, play Thunderstruck. Yeah, we can't do that here, otherwise we get demonetized for the show. So let's see. We had XLM and Ethereum. Let's take a look at some Ethereum first, see what's going on that higher term time frame. Looks like it respected some of those old levels we were looking at. We got Filecoin on that list. We can get that one on there and take a look after some XLM. Mind looking at one. We can take a look at that one as well. One. Haven't heard of that one, but we can definitely take a look at that one. All right. So we got Ethereum here looking a little bit toppy after rejection off of our 50% line. 50% line on our fib extension levels. These are giant fib extension levels that go off of our whole cycle here. So this is pulled from our lows back in that 2018 bottom to our highs in 2021 to our lows here and our last bear market. Really seeing these levels come in as strong resistance and strong support. So we'll kind of have to see, because we are in a crucial area here, if we're going to reject off of that 50% line again. Really looking for those stronger moves towards the downside, especially as this is a higher time frame and you're really seeing that money flow here in the red. If we can get that break towards the green on our money flow, you could see a little bit of sideways movements in this area. That's pretty much what we've been seeing across the board, and then see if we can get that break towards the upside, try to clear out some liquidity before a stronger move down. So that's kind of what we're looking for. We will kind of have to see in the shorter term time frame what will happen though. So 4 hour starting to look a little bottomed, so looking for that bounce area directly towards the downside as we could get just a little more cool off. Money flow is starting to wane just a little bit. As you can see, we're getting that move towards the downside here, and you've started to pick up on some sell volume. So keep your eyes on some downside levels. We do have about $3,070 coming in as an area to potentially see some bouncing again. So see if they won't go on tour again. Well, missed it. Oh well. You don't always get to see those, but I'm sure we will see some other good artists that I could potentially go watch. I've been a little bit busy with life, so my concert going has taken a little bit of a back seat. So we are seeing that start to some bottoming here on the 4 hour. So keep your eyes on some of that. We do need a little bit of some money flow to step back in. Your volume has started to get into the red there. Let's take a look at this hourly, because that hourly starting to see that sideways momentum we were talking about, but we're not looking overly bottomed, as that prime oscillator is still sitting in the red here. Your money flow is still on the way out and your volume is extremely red. So kind of keep your eyes on that. We could get that deviation towards the downside to cool off a little bit stronger, or we could just get that sideways momentum here to get that cool off. So those are those two things to kind of watch for. My preference for the cool off that I would kind of keep my eye on would be the deviation move towards the downside to see strong support come on in, because it cools off a whole lot quicker, really shakes out a lot of that money flow. So keep your eyes on that about $3,070 for that stronger bounce there. As you can see, we're trying to get that shift of trend here. We are putting in higher lows, but we've got very solid resistance directly up above us at 3,132, and we're already starting to see that curvature on that MACD and that prime oscillator, and that money flow's coming back out here. So kind of keep your eyes on this. We are squeezing just a little bit. Would like to see that break towards the downside to cool off, sweep out any liquidity before we try to get that push back up to about 4,000 or $3,180. That is that next real resistance area to keep your eye on, and on the shorter term time frame there. So few little bounce points. If we don't hold that 370 range, next real area towards the downside is about $3,000 on the dot. So that was Ethereum for you. Let's take a quick look at some XLM, then we'll get over to some Filecoin. Let's see, we got XLM over here on our list, one of our favorites for an alt. Not that I buy it, but you know, I do like XLM. We are looking like we've got those strong rejections off at 25 cents. That was that area we're kind of looking for a strong rejection at anyway. We've seen that come in over and over again. We did get that nice bounce off of the platinum pocket. We got through all of our resistance areas, really faltered at 25 cents before making our way back down towards some levels. In the shorter term time frame, we're kind of looking for 22 cents to be a little bit of a support area. We ended up breaking below that 4 hour, definitely looking like you could see just a little more downside here. So about 22.5 cents would be that next real bottom area to kind of keep your eye on, as we couldn't hold our local support there at almost 23 cents. So keeping our eyes on some of this here, you are starting to see that shift of volume. So starting to see that absorption pressure coming on in. We'll kind of have to see if we get that better absorption at 22.5 cents there, and then see if we can get that stronger bounce back up to about 24 cents. That's where we're going to start seeing a lot of resistance. As you can see, we see all of these wicking actions above 25 on the higher term time frame. We'll have to get it pulled up on the daily for you to really see it. All those wicks above 25. So a lot of resistance directly towards the upside. We are trying to see if we can get back up towards that area. Daily is looking a little bit toppy, but that doesn't mean you don't get those short-term bounces, to see if you can get back up towards some of that. If you start breaking the platinum pocket here, you got a lot of levels towards the downside. So in the short-term time frame, kind of looking for that bounce. We did get that nice little consolidation underneath 23 cents, and looking like you could get that next little bottom at about 22.5 cents as you rejected off at 23 cents there, and you're really starting to lose a lot of that momentum here on your MACD, getting that curvature all over again. Prime oscillator really staying on this bottom side here, and you've got a little bit of sell volume to contend with. So I would like to see all of that sell volume really play out here. This has been a nice solid downtrend, so really looking to see if we can get that 22 cent bounce to try to clear out some of this in the local area before we start making our way a little bit further here. So XLM, great little project. Really looking for that 22 cent bounce to see if we can get back up to that 24 cent range here. If we can't get all the way up there, we've got some nice resistance at about 23.5 cents there. So that's that next real strong rejection point that could really continue that downtrend on the higher term time frame. Put in a lower high, and then we'd be looking all the way back down here at our platinum pocket area at about 20 cents. Curtis Hill saying, I want 10 cent XLM again. Well, let's zoom this on out. Take a look at that weekly, because you can definitely get all of that all over again. It has been keeping its structure a little bit better than some of the everything than some of the other alts have. As you can see, it continues to put in higher lows when we get to bear markets. So yeah, could get pretty close to that 10-cent range. Would look for, let's see, let's get a trend line pulled on up from our lows. Looking like you could get all the way back down here at about 10-ish cents, so 8-9 cents there. That's where we're seeing some support areas, and really looking like we've repeated this trend all over again. So keep your eyes on some of that area. Might be some nice buying points in the long-term time frame. Let's see, that was XLM for you. We had File and One on the list. Let's see. Do we have Filecoin here? Not seeing it. So let's get File pulled on up, and crypto, obviously. I guess I did have it on the list. Oh yeah, I didn't see it there. Whoo. And this one was everyone's favorite for a while, and look at that. Lower highs, lower lows. It broke its all-time lows there. That's not what you want to see. That is not what you want to see at all. Let's get this zoomed on in, see what's going on that daily. Couldn't even close out that fair value gap. Got that strong rejection off the midline below our absolute lows here. So $1.97, really looking like a resistance area. Starting to see that curvature back towards the downside here as well on that MACD and prime oscillator. Your volume is starting to pick up just a little bit as some buy volume, so kind of keep your eyes on some of this. We do have 115 being our local support here. Let's get that pulled on up with a horizontal ray. This will be our support area to kind of keep our eyes on. We are trying to switch trend. We did get that nice little movement towards the upside. Really struggling with our local resistance though, so could use a little more cool off. We'll kind of have to see on a shorter term time frame what's going on. 4 hour is trying to hold our trend towards the upside here. We've got a little bit of an area that we could come back down to, as this has a very shallow trend line. Let's get from our lows here, and as you can see, we could deviate just a little bit further to the downside and really hold our upside trend here. Looking a little bit bottomed on the 4 hour, but could definitely use a little more cool off. We would have to break about $1.43 to see that stronger move down to about $1.34 there. Let's see what's going on that 1 hour. 1 hour really starting to see those bottoming indicators, but as you can see, it was doing those bottoming indicators as we were continuing towards the downside. So keep your eyes on some of those lower levels there. If 143 breaks, really looking for that 135 cents to be that better bounce point. Would give you some better cool off as well. 4 hour needs a little bit more. 1 hour could definitely use a little bit of a stronger reversal signal as well. 15 minute in the morning has been ranging a little bit sideways here, pretty much like everything else was, but as you can see, we do continue that downtrend. We did get that nice strong diamond and got that stronger move towards the downside. Didn't come with any strong bottoming indicators. We got that nice switch from green to red here on our prime oscillator, but your sell volume still holding steady. So kind of keep your eyes on this. We could get that stronger rejection off of about $1.47 this morning. Try to get that stronger cool off there. So Filecoin, not looking great on higher term time frames, but you know, shorter term time frames could definitely get some bouncing. If we can get that stronger cool off there, 143 is our nice support for now. 135 would be a better bounce and a better cool off there. speaking of the Thunder, they killing it in basketball. Woo, woo. The first basketball game, pro basketball game I ever saw live was the Thunder. I grew up in Oklahoma, and I watched their very first game ever. Like, they just became a team, and I got to see that one live. So that was so awesome. Let's see, we had one requested. Let's take a look at one, see what's going on. Harmony. Let's see if Binance has good history. Get this zoomed on out, see what's going on there. Dang. Let's see more history. Has been in quite the downtrend there. AMP, if I got some time, I should have time to take a look at that as well. So nice strong bottoms here. We did get a little bit of a move towards that with some wicking action. This looks like your typical alt. Jesus. So really trying to hold our support down here at about 0043. That was our support back here. We do have another support area below that though. So let's get our first horizontal ray. This is pretty much our current range. Let's make that a little bit thicker there. Let's come in with that secondary support level. That's coming in at about 0015. So this goes a whole lot lower. You're going to start adding a whole bunch of zeros in there. So let's get a fib level pulled on up from our highs to our low at about that 00150. So we got our highs back here to this. Let's go from our more current range here, from our lows to our high. Ooh, trying to hold that 236. Nice little price point to kind of keep our eye on. Let's get this zoomed on in, take a look at our 4 hour, see what's going on. We got some nice cool off here on the 4 hour, really seeing some green money flow start to step on in, but you got some sell volume to contend with there on that prime oscillator. We'll kind of have to see if we can get some continuation of money flow. That 236 and 00392 pretty much coming in at the same point as our nice strong support from way back in the beginning, pretty much in line with that 236. We're trying to keep our uptrend for now. Could get a little bit of a deviation towards the downside there to get that better cool off. Let's see what's going on the 1 hour there. 1 hour trying to hold that 236 with some strength. As you can see, we got a little bit of a wicking action below it, but all of those candle bodies opening and closing on our 236. So could get a little bit of sideways momentum in this area to try to see that strong bounce towards our local resistance at about 0042. So that's that first move I'd kind of watch for. A little bit of sideways momentum on top of the 236 to kind of get that push back up. That other move I'd kind of watch for, if our money flow really gets that next move towards the downside, is going to be that stronger move towards 00392 for a better bounce towards 00427. So that's what I got for the hourly there. Let's see what's going on. 15 minute really ranging sideways on top of that 236. You have been seeing that sell volume really staying strong here on the shorter term time frame, and you got that next little leg in on the money flow. So kind of keep your eyes on this area. We could get a little bit of bouncing if that money flow really slows up on how red it is. Could really get that stronger move towards the upside there. A little bit of a downtrend, looking for it to kind of get a little bit of shifting for that stronger bounce up. We had AMP last on the list there. We got K Diggity in the house. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see, we got AMP on the list, and let's see, AMP US dollar on Coinbase. Yes, that is where I did my charting. So let's get this one zoomed on out. Take a look at that 4 hour. Whew. Lost the platinum pocket, back towards our 0 line on our fibs. Let's get this zoomed on out a little bit further, take a look at that weekly, see what we might be looking for. So dang, okay, so amp really getting hit hard, trying to see if we can get a little bit of some bottoming on the shorter term time frame. Daily did get that nice little visit into some sell pressure, and looked like it got a nice little bottom there. We'll kind of have to see if we can start reclaiming some local areas here. First area to kind of keep your eye on for rejections, 00315. That has been some support here. We got a lot of wicking action off of it, a lot of equal candle bodies there as well. So we will have to see if we can get above that to really try to get any continuation above it. That's back to my normal music. So let's get to some random music that doesn't have some words on it. Supervise. I don't think I'll have some time to take a look at Supervise, but we will put that on the list for tomorrow, and we'll just drop the ticker for me, and then I'll take a look at it on while I'm off, and we will see if we can find any movements there, and then talk about it tomorrow. We got the daily looking extremely toppy here, but the nice thing you're starting to see is that break of some money flow into the green. Your volume's extremely green as well and increasing. So we will kind of have to see if we get that cool off on the shorter term time frame. As you can see, nice sideways momentum really cools off the prime oscillator and the MACD there. You got really nice solid green money flow here and some solid green volume to kind of hold price up at as well. Really seeing that nice little uptrend start. We'll kind of have to see if we can start breaking some of the levels towards the upside first. As you can see here in our local area, you've got some nice strong sell volume above 00241. That's coming in as our localized resistance here. Let's get that pulled on up, made a little bit thinner. That is our local resistance. You can see all the rejections off that as well. Very equal candle bodies. Let's get this zoomed on in. Take a look at that hourly. That is the 2 hour hourly. There we go. Nice sideways momentum underneath our resistance, really getting that cool off on your prime oscillator and MACD. Starting to see a little bit of sideways momentum stepping on in, but nothing too crazy. So we will look for that next inflow of money, see if that gets us that pushback towards the upside, or if this is going to get a little bit of a curvature towards the downside as your volume is really solidifying as some sell pressure. So if you can get that sell pressure really holding steady, starting to wane, and that money flow remains green, you could really start to get that strong move towards the upside as all of the sellers get absorbed. We will kind of have to see what's going on that 15 minute really starting to look a little toppy here as well. So 15 minute with a little bit of toppiness here. Your money flow back in the red, your volume switch to green, already heading back towards that sell volume. So we'll kind of have to see if we get that stronger visit towards our top side range here, 0022. We'll get that pulled on up. This is our support area to kind of keep your eye on, 00220. That'd be that point to kind of look for a stronger bounce at if we start losing some of our sideways momentum here. So kind of keep your eyes on that. That'd be a better bounce point for a stronger move back towards our resistance and try to break above that next area to kind of keep your eye on, 00259, basically 00256. So keep your eyes on some of that. We are below the middle of this area here, looking for that stronger cool off at 00220 for a better bounce point. So pretty much what I got across the board on all these assets. Looking for a little stronger cool off with a move towards the downside, so we can start to pick up a little momentum, get those stronger moves towards the upside there. And make sure to tune into the rest of the shows here on the Piper Academy. We got 2 other shows we do daily. That morning market report at 10:15 a.m. Eastern time. He switched that show time, pushed it back 15 minutes. They got some stuff going on. We've also got Trading with OC at 7 p.m. Eastern time. The place to be if you like to make some money, if you like to put on tinfoil hats, and you like to have a little bit of fun. So that is the man with the plan. He's the indicator god. He's got all that to a T. Let's send you over to JR. I'm sure he's getting his show started just about now. So let's try to get that redirect all set up. Not seeing it just yet. JR, go live. All right, I'm gonna play a little bit of music to send you on out, and then if I got the day off work, I will try to go live on my channel. So until next time, make sure to wake up, because today's going to be a good day.
Wake the hell up. Charts ain't waiting and neither am I. It's BC Pork Corp, and this is Good Morning Crypto. Let's run it. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping on time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much. Cold wallet thick like it just did crunch. Fiat crashing, I just laugh in the mirror. Good morning truth, now the picture get clearer. Yeah, I'm up before sunrise, no snooze on my plays. Whale still dreaming, I'm setting my trays. I ain't here for likes, I ain't here for clout. I'm here for that check when the trend breaks out. I spit blocks, hash rates, halves and dates. Got alpha in my veins, no time for fakes. SEC lurking, but I move like a ghost. Mixing TA and game, call me the host. This my show, this my tone, this my throne. Good morning crypto, I stand alone. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping on time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much. Cold wallet thick like it just did crunch. Fiat crashing, I just laugh in the mirror. Good morning truth, now the picture get clearer. Perpetual swinging, I'm a beast with the size. TA tight like the laces I tie. MACD crossing, I'm pressing that go. And my fib line stretching like it's crypto dope. Ain't no banker ever taught me this wealth. I learned from red days, had to fight for myself. Now I'm dropping fire before the coffee drip. Crypto cooking on its breakfast shift. Every candle's a warning, every flash a test. But I lace up my plays and I trade like the best. We're moons made for legends, not snoozers and sheep. This for the wolves who watch charts while they eat. This for the ones who said crypto's a scam. Now I'm paying my bills with a cold wallet jam. Salute to the grinder, salute to the bold. Good morning to those who ain't buying what they sold. Good morning to the streets, to the charts, to the grind. I ain't sipping no latte, I'm sipping on time. Woke up with the market in a headlock grip. See the wick break out, that's my exit flip. Digital hustle, I don't sleep much. Cold wallet thick like it just did crunch. Fiat crashing, I just laugh in the mirror. Good morning truth, now the picture get clearer. Wake up, read the charts, read the game, then run